Hello and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host Greg from the Lewiston City Library. Joining me today is Jeff Weiner from the Lewiston Fire Department. Welcome to our show today.
Thank you, Greg. It's great to be here.
Yeah, Jeff here is a firefighter, a paramedic, and very involved in public education through the Lewiston Fire Department. He's been working there for over 31 years, and he's going to talk to us today about, what are we going to talk about today, Jeff?
Well, it is Fire Prevention Week, and the number one most important thing that we want the public to know that you can have in your home are good working smoke alarms, lots of alarms. When I was a kid years ago, many years ago, having one alarm was the big deal, to have a smoke alarm. But now if you were to do a major remodel in your house or build a new house, you would be required by code to have smoke alarms in every bedroom, outside of every sleeping area, on top of each floor, all hardwired, interconnected, where one goes off, they all go off. And so what I think a lot of people think that when they think about smoke alarms is that I got a smoke alarm, I got a couple. But you know, we teach kids to sleep with their bedroom doors closed to keep the smoke and fire out of their bedroom should there ever be a fire. And there was a horrible fire that happened here in the valley in Lewiston a number of years ago, where they laid a little baby down to rest, to take a nap, and they shut the door so the baby could sleep. But clothes were inadvertently piled too close to the heater and that room caught on fire. But no one knew there was a fire because there was no smoke alarm that worked in that bedroom, because the bedroom door was closed. So that just points out the importance of having them in your bedroom and outside your bedroom so that everybody's awake so that you can get out. But the other really important thing that we really want to teach people about smoke alarms is not only to have a lot of them, but there are two different types of technology that are out there. And we want people to be aware that they should have both technologies. If you look at this board here, we have a number of smoke alarms out, but one of the types of technology are ionization type of smoke alarms. And these are less expensive, so a lot of people buy these, and these are really good at faster alarming at hot, fast-burning fires. Photoelectric smoke alarms are faster alarming at slow, smoldering, smoky fires. Now, like I said, these are less expensive, so a lot of people buy these because they're UL listed, they're a smoke alarm, they work. But statistics are now proving over time, and studies are showing that what are killing people in fires at night while they're sleeping are the slow, smoldering, smoking fires. And there are places now that are mandating that you have photoelectric smoke alarms. There are fire marshals and places in different communities back east, particularly the country of Australia, really strong, get photoelectric smoke alarms. Well, here in Lewiston, we're taking the stand. We want you to have both technologies in your house. We don't know if you're going to have a hot, fast-burning fire or a slow, smoky, smoldering fire, which statistics would say that's what's going to potentially kill you if you should have a fire. But we want you to have both technology. Or you can get combination type. This has both photoelectric and ionization. That's what I have in my house. I have the hardwired version of that house. I have a number of them in my house. But that's the important things we want to teach people, that there are two different technologies. Have both in your house and have lots of them.
Oh, that's great. And again, I never would have guessed that. I have no idea. So, and how do you get this information out to the public?
Well, one of the ways we do that is shows like this, the fair, we have this booth, we go to all of the schools. But before I get to that, I just want to say a couple more things about smoke alarms.
Oh, definitely.
Some people, carbon monoxide is another thing. They're now by code required outside of each sleeping area in a house, most houses. If you're all electric, if your house is all electric and you don't have an attached garage, you don't have to have them. But if you have any other fuel besides electric, or you have an attached garage, you do need to have carbon monoxide alarms. And then this is a combination alarm. It's a combination ionization and CO alarm. I have some of those in my house, but that it's not photoelectric, and I would prefer to have photoelectric as much as possible, and they do make those as well.
Oh, that's great.
The point is that there's not all alarms are alike, even though they may look similar. And one more thing I should point out is that this is an excellent brand. Like I said, this is what I have in my house, but don't be fooled by bedroom, kitchen, and living room. That's just marketing. The important thing is having both photoelectric and ionization technologies in your house throughout your house. And good fresh working batteries.
Yes, good fresh working batteries. How often should folks test their batteries and their smoke alarms?
Well, we teach the kids at least test them. You know, it used to be once a month, but you know, if you do it every few months and make sure, and change your batteries once a year is what we say. And then there's little tricks like when you change your clocks, change your batteries. But and one of the things I did, you can buy 10-year batteries now, lithium-ion batteries. They are more expensive. That's what I put in my house. And so, but you should test them at least, you know, every several months.
So folks get a good working fire alarm, hopefully a variety, a couple different types in their home. What happens when those alarms start going off? What's the next most important thing they should be aware of?
Well, that's a great follow-up question, because that's one of the things we teach the kids is what happens when the smoke alarm goes off. One of the things is that fires in houses, they start off, these buy you time. And once a fire starts, and once it gets going, it grows really fast. So the important thing is get out and get out fast. And so we want people to have fire escape plans for their house. And they have them in the school, and so we teach the kids, you should go home and make a fire escape plan for your house. And one of the things I tell the kids or parents is maybe you could get a big piece of butcher paper, put it on the living room floor or the kitchen table, make some popcorn, have fun, draw the floor plan of your house, get a couple of different colored pens or crayons, and show the primary way out, which is usually the bedroom door and the doors, back door, front door, and the secondary way out, which is often windows, and show two ways out of your house. And stay low. One of the things we teach the kids, we start off, one of the programs that we do at the fire department is go to all the schools, and all the first graders in the city of Lewiston get a smoke alarm. And we give them one of these dual sensor ones. And one thing I do need to put a plug in for the Home Depot, we couldn't do this, and the kit at the manufacturer, we couldn't give those good smoke alarms if they didn't give us a huge break. And that's how we do it. But we give all the kids a smoke alarm. And we teach them that this is their smoke alarm. It goes in their bedroom. We want every first grader in the city of Lewiston to have a good working smoke alarm. And then we teach them what happens when it goes off. And we just run them through it. If the alarm goes off, you don't sit up in the smoke. You stay low, you roll down, you touch the door. If the door handle's hot, don't open it. If it's cool, you can go out. If it's hot, you go out the secondary way out, which is typically a window. Do you break the glass? No. We want you to be able to open every window easily, remove every screen easily. Do you jump? No. You have a ladder. If not, you yell for help. Somebody comes with a ladder. Once you get out, you stay out. Never run back in. Don't grab your toys. And then once you get out, go to your meeting spot out front. We run through that whole thing with kids. It's about a 45-minute presentation. That's what we do.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, and very informational and very important for everyone to be able to, recognize that within their own homes and how to keep their families safe.
Well, that's true, and we're trying to educate the public, and that's one way to do it, is educating the public from the ground up. And that goes home with, the smoke alarm goes home with a letter, and hopefully people recognize that this is just one smoke alarm. You need to have lots of smoke alarms.
Absolutely. Now, what other types of programs does Lewiston Fire Department offer the community at large for, fire awareness, fire prevention? What else can the community look forward to?
Well, there's three programs really that we're very committed to fire prevention and public education. One of them is the first grade program I just told you about, where we go to all the schools, all the first graders. The other one is the clown program, which has been going for about 17 years now. And those are all school assemblies where we have clowns that go out and teach fire safety. And we try to cover a handful of topics, 10 topics a year, and there's always the foundational topics of fire prevention, home escape plans, smoke alarms, that kind of thing. But we cover other topics as well. We call ourselves the life safety team. It's not just fire. It could be bike helmets, gun safety, candles, hot stoves, those kinds of things. And we go to all the schools and do that. Yeah.
That's great. So you got the educational clowns, and then the first grade program, and you mentioned a third program. What's the other program?
One of the things that's really big too is we, at the fair, we have a booth every year. And it's not just to be there to say we're here, it's to actually do the same sorts of things we're doing here, is educate the public. We have the same board, we have a ladder, an escape ladder, we have fire extinguishers, those kinds of things to prompt people to think fire safety.
Oh, that's great. And you mentioned Fire Prevention Week. Are there big things going on during Fire Prevention Week that folks could look forward to or should be aware of?
Well, actually, we've expanded Fire Prevention Week at the Fire Department to Fire Prevention Month. But one of the things we do every year is we go to all the schools and do a fire drill. And then this Saturday, the 11th, we're having an open house at all the fire stations. Anybody can drop in between 1 and 3 and see what's going on at the fire stations.
Oh, that's great. That sounds like a lot of fun, really.
It is. If kids want to crawl around on fire engines and see those kinds of things, it is fun.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about today, Jeff? It's been very informative. I've learned more about fire alarms in the past 10 minutes than I ever have known in my entire life. So I really appreciate that personally for my own personal awareness at home and family safety.
Well, you're welcome, because we really believe in it. We're passionate about it. The one more thing that I was going to cover, we talked about fire escape plans, and I kind of got drifted on that. But what I wanted to say is that fire extinguishers, I think it's really important to educate the public about fire extinguishers are good to have, but two important things. One, Well, three important things. One, you want to make sure you have the right extinguisher. Not all extinguishers are designed for all types of fires, so you want to have the right extinguisher for the kind of fires you would have in your home. Typically an ABC, that's a rating system. The other thing is that they don't last as long as you might think. You think you got this big old bottle and it's going to last a long time. 30, 40, maybe 60 seconds tops, so you don't just hold the trigger. But the other most important thing with a fire extinguisher is they're for small fires or garbage can fires, and always you want to make sure that you are between the door and the fire. You don't want to get, so if the fire gets away from you, you can get out safely.
That's very good tips. Very good tips. And how often should folks check their fire extinguisher to make sure that it's still, how long do they typically last?
Well, they can
Like
last
the
a long
over-the-counter
time,
ones that you
but
would
typically
buy?
we check ours once a year. But once a month, you know, we turn them over to let the powder inside kind of keep it loose. We tip it over once a month. Walk by, check the gauge, but we have them professionally inspected once a year.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, Jeff, I can't tell you what a pleasure it's been talking with you today. Thank you for being on the show. And on behalf of our guest, Jeff Weiner, and the rest of us here at City Beat, we hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time.